Koforidua, where a high court has issued a bench warrant to arrest a member of parliament for Akwatia, Ernest Yaw Kumi, for contempt of court. The conviction comes after he disobeyed an interim injunction prohibiting him from being sworn in and admitted as a member of parliament for Akwatia. The judge, however, Justice Senyo Amedahe, held that the convict throughout the hearing of the contempt case failed to appear in court in person. He also rejected a letter from the minority in parliament claiming the MP was busy with parliamentary duties, hence his continuous absence from court. Now let's get more from Eastern Region's Kofi Siaon. Kofi, what's the update? Has the member of parliament, by now I'm sure, if he hasn't been issued with a warrant, by now I'm sure he has had it. But tell me, how did we arrive at this?
Okay, so you know, or we all know that on January 7th, on January 6th, rather, the court placed an interim injunction on Ernest Yaw Kumi, that is the member of parliament elect for the Akwatia constituency, prohibiting him from holding himself up as the member of parliament for the Akwatia constituency. But he presented himself, he disobeyed the court order, that is what the court says, and presented himself to parliament, and he was sworn in as the member of parliament for the area. So following that, the NDC filed a contempt application in court led by the counsel Bernard Bedia Kubedu, and the court heard the case today, and in their ruling, in the court ruling, the judge Senyo Amedehe says that the MP Ernest Yaw Kumi disobeyed the court orders by not adhering to the interim injunction placed on him and presented himself in parliament for him to be sworn in as a member of parliament. So the court says, the court also added that there was a letter from parliament, the minority caucus of parliament, telling the court that the MP could not be present in court because he has some parliamentary duties to perform. But the judge, in his own wisdom, says that it is not the minority caucus that can, make these claims. If anybody could make it, it would come from the speaker or the clerk of parliament. So he never admitted that and gave his ruling and said that even though the MP wasn't in court, he has convicted him and issued a bench warrant for his arrest. So when he appears in court, when he's arrested, that is when the sentencing or any other conviction, the true sentencing will be pronounced in court.
I'm definitely aware that there are NPP persons in that constituency that voted for him. Have you had any reactions from these NPP voters?
Okay, so a few of them were in court today, and from the look on their faces, it shows disappointment. Some were, frustrated with the ruling, and they were shocked that the judge could convict the member of parliament for the NPP side in Akwatia.
Right. Thank you, Kofi. I'll go on phone now and speak to my colleague, Kweku Asante, a parliamentary correspondent. Kweku, I am curious, have you seen this member of parliament in parliament today or any other day?
Well, yes, as soon as the news broke that the member of parliament had been convicted for contempt, we did see the member of parliament in the chamber. He walked in pretty shortly, and then he walked out. For about 30 seconds, he was in the chamber, and then ultimately he walked out when the issues had just been raised. I was unable to speak to him specifically. In fact, I did track him down. I followed him when he did come down, and he, in his words, sometimes we journalists have to be sensitive to our needs members of parliament. And so he refused to speak to me on the record about the bench warrant that has been issued against him, but he has indeed been to parliament. He has been in the chamber. He was there for about 30 minutes. I've shared videos about, I don't know if you can share that, but he was in the chamber. After some time he left. He did have some discussion with some very senior members of his caucus, the second deputy speaker and other members of the minority caucus. After some time he left that side and then walked straight to the Justice 100 where we expect that he will be in office and perhaps will meet the precincts of Parliament.
Well, let's explore this a little further, Kweku. Prior to today, has he been quite active in Parliament?
Well, yes, Ernest Yaw Kumi has been coming to Parliament every now and then. Of course, he does not speak almost all the time. I think in the last week or two, I've seen him speak once on the floor about a statement that was delivered, but he has not been one of the very busy or one of the MPs who have been really at the forefront of leading proceedings in Parliament. But he has been around a couple of times, almost all the time I see him. He's the backbencher. He sits 1 seat to the back. And so it's just the penultimate seat to the very back bench at the minority side. And so he's been around a couple of times, but he has not been very much active in terms of speaking, contributing to statements, and making all these comments in Parliament. But he has been coming around here.
Kweku, what does this really mean for the minority in Parliament?
Well, ultimately, we don't know yet what the strategy will be. We know that the standing orders and the Constitution provides that a member of Parliament cannot be arrested when he is in Parliament, when he is on his way to Parliament, or on his way from Parliament. And so in all these three circumstances, he cannot be arrested. If he stays in Parliament from now till late or whenever, he cannot be arrested. When he crosses from Parliament and is on his way to his house, he cannot be arrested unless he reaches his home, and then he can be arrested. Tomorrow morning, if he's on his way to Parliament, he cannot be arrested. Those are the immunities that exist for members of Parliament with regard to the power to arrest and all that. Also, the minority perhaps they enlist the support of the Speaker by getting him to append his signature to a document in the court that the member of Parliament has not been coming to court because of this or that reason, for which reason he should not be convicted of contempt or what have you. We don't know if that will inform the judge's opinion to go against the decision to convict him, or he will proceed to sentence him or rescind the bench warrant. That is all up to the judge, and we do not know now what exactly will happen in the coming days. We'll get to speak to the leadership.
Oh no, I don't want to.
What exactly?
Right.
Going forward, and how this bench is doing.
Kweku, before your network will freeze on me again, a very quick one. Do you think that the court is going to recognize him as an MP, which then will make him immune to these provisions that the Constitution allows, that he cannot arrest a member of Parliament whilst he's conducting parliamentary duties? Now, there's some contention on that seat, which means that there's no clarity as to whether that seat has been declared in the name of the NPP and even more to him, Yaw Kumi. And so do you think that this immunity in the Constitution can apply to him legitimately?
Well, that is something that we'll need to see what the opinion of the judge will be, ultimately when it publishes a detailed ruling. But as we speak, it is undisputed that Ernest Yaw Kumi has actually been sworn in Parliament. He has taken his seat as a member of Parliament. He has been accorded all the privileges of members of Parliament. In fact, there has been no challenge on the floor as to his suitability of Parliament. So the presumption of regularity will follow that because he has been sworn in as a member of Parliament, he's been performing his duties as a member of Parliament. It would stand to reason that for now, he's a member.
Thank you. I got that, and I hope that you also got that, Kweku. We'll come back to you if there's any developments, but thank you. And still...